Wrestling fans, guys, when I think of Smackdown Live tonight, when I think of what show it was tonight, the go home show to Hell in a Cell. I want to remind you all of that. I want to remind the WWE of that. I want to remind every single person that is watching me right now. The go home show to Hell in a Cell. The pay-per-view coming off of SummerSlam. WWE's big marquee pay-per-view in September that we are supposed to get a big, huge jump shot in the arm for the fall, right? And for a go-home show for Raw and SmackDown this week, let's see. Outside of Mick Foley being added as a special guest referee last night, and Rusev Day getting a tag team title shot at Hell in a Cell by defeating the Bar tonight. Tell me anything that happened on SmackDown tonight, on the go-home shows, both tonight and last night, that got us any more intrigued at all for Hell in a Cell. I'm giving you a minute. Bet you can't come up with anything in the comments below, can you, wrestling fans? Probably nothing. Now, before I get into the entire show, you all know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for all notifications. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter at 2007Webby. Join me on this journey on YouTube. It is much appreciated. A lot of fun and hard work goes into it for you wrestling fans. Jason Funny will be here on the preview and predictions podcast tomorrow. Plus, he'll be here for the review of Hell in a Cell. He has his own little show coming right here on the channel each month called The Blast from the Past, going over some old school wrestling. If you're an old school wrestling fan, you'll get to see him do his own show. Tune in for that. Much appreciated. But SmackDown Live tonight. Go home show to Hell in a Cell. When I think of this show outside of Rusev Day, Daniel Bryan and The Miz, Maurice, Brie Bella, main event. Maurice and Brie Bella main eventing SmackDown Live. Okay, I'm fine with it. Whatever. It's one of the biggest rivalries in WWE right now, bar none. D. Bryan and The Miz. If you don't think so, I don't know what you're watching. In my estimation, this topples Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. This topples Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss because of how they've built up those rivalries. They haven't really built them up. They've had to rely on Mick Foley to help it out. They've had to rely on different stars to help build that up, those rivalries up. Daniel Bryan and The Miz, self-explanatory. They have groomed and grew that rivalry by themselves. What can you say about it? I mean, honestly, Daniel Bryan finally gets the upper hand tonight. Will he win at Hell in a Cell? Quite frankly, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, the match wasn't anything special. Maurice and Brie really just kind of flopped around the whole throughout the match a little bit. And finally, The Miz gets involved, which gets Daniel Bryan involved. And then they get inside the squared circle. Brie hits The Miz, clothesline over the top rope. Should be a barn burner in that mixed tag team matchup. I'm hoping we see that on Sunday. Hope it's a very good contest. All four of these individuals have good chemistry with each other, so I hope it turns out to be good. And I think Miz and Maurice will be going over on Sunday. Only makes sense. Daniel Bryan's still fighting his way till he gets that victory over The Miz for the WWE Championship, like we all know what's coming. Now, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. I like what they have been doing on SmackDown with this rivalry. You'll notice that the rivalry with these guys have not been with matchups. They've been all promos. All of them. Very enjoyable. AJ Styles promo tonight kind of took a page out of John Cena's promo on his way to WrestleMania when he was facing The Rock. Empty arena. The only difference was John Cena was sitting in the arena. AJ Styles was sitting on the steps. Still steps. Now, AJ Styles proclaiming that his house is not for rent. His house is not for sale. Samoa Joe is picking on the one thing that he knows that AJ Styles' weak spot is, and that's his attitude, his anger. But Samoa Joe's weakness is going to be his fall come Hell in a Cell. And quite frankly, there's no doubt in my mind AJ Styles is going to walk out the victor come Sunday. AJ Styles is on the cover of WWE 2K19. Self-explanatory. WWE will want him to be a champion when the game comes out. We'll wait and see what happens. But this has been a tremendous rivalry heading into Hell in a Cell. Seeing how this has developed, it really makes you wonder why there's no stipulation whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it really does. But this is WWE we're talking about here. So, Rusev Day versus The Bar. Good tag team contest. Already mentioned, already went over that Rusev Day was victorious. Will they be victorious against the New Day? Probably not. The New Day will go over at Hell in a Cell. But I am very happy that Rusev Day got the win tonight on SmackDown and is getting to go to the pay-per-view on Sunday. Very good job by WWE. I wish they would pull the trigger and give Rusev Day a title run, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. What else happened tonight on SmackDown Live? Charlotte versus Sonya. Now look, for all you Charlotte fans out there, I'm not going to run this down, okay? I'm not going to criticize this all that much, but look, she wanted competition. There's a reason why. They picked Sonya instead of Mandy Rose. Okay? They picked Sonya because Sonya is the better wrestler out of the two. Mandy Rose can't wrestle as good as Sonya by any means. By any means. I mean, there's just no way. Now, afterwards, Charlotte wins. Becky Lynch attacks Charlotte. From the crowd. Becky Lynch in the crowd. Takes off the wig and everything. Absolutely fantastic. I loved the fact that Becky Lynch interrupted the picture that Charlotte was taking with a child. That was great. I know there's still going to be somebody out there that's saying Becky Lynch does not need to be a heel. Becky Lynch being a heel is killing her character. Becky Lynch being a heel is a mistake. There's somebody out there saying something like that. Okay, I know there is. There's somebody out there probably saying that's watching me right now. Okay? But seeing that out of Becky, I don't care if she is getting a babyface reaction. I like seeing that attitude out of her. WWE doesn't need to change that. They don't. They don't need to go back to the nice little sweet, innocent Becky Lynch that all she does is come out and wrestle and then go back and that's it. They don't need to do that. That character was stale and dry. It was boring. There's an extra layer now to Becky Lynch. Really enjoyable. Like seeing it. Samoa Joe's segment on Smackdown Live. Excuse me. Now, Samoa Joe, absolutely fantastic all the way through this rivalry with AJ Styles. Samoa Joe, without a doubt, the best heel WWE has to offer right now. And the way he laid out that story tonight that ended with him being WWE champion, that good night story for Wendy and AJ's daughter, absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to see what happens Sunday. It's going to be great. But like I said earlier, Samoa Joe's not walking out the victor. I just don't see it. Andrade Cien Almas versus R-Truth. What's up? Andrade Cien Almas victorious. Okay. And finally, Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton, along with Shinsuke Nakamura. Finally, Shinsuke Nakamura is back on TV. I wish Shinsuke Nakamura would be in a rivalry, but WWE not really having anything for him to do. WWE not having any baby faces for him to face. WWE just saying, we don't care about Shinsuke Nakamura, even though he's our United States champion right now. Just like they look at the Intercontinental Championship and they're like, we don't care about the Intercontinental Championship right now because the Shield protecting Roman Reigns is the most important thing. Anyway, I'm not going to start ranting about that. What I am going to say is Hardy, Randy Orton at Hell in a Cell should be a fantastic matchup. I see Hardy going off the cell without a doubt. That's number one. Number two, Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura tonight. It was a matchup. We all knew it was going to end the way it did with Randy Orton getting involved. Okay. Now, Jeff Hardy did get the upper hand at the end of the segment. Randy Orton got hit with steel chair. Randy Orton got swanton bomb. Randy Orton's going to walk out the victor Sunday. It just makes perfect sense how they just laid that out in the opening segment. And Shinsuke Nakamura got the shaft tonight. But hopefully, after Hell in a Cell, he gets a rivalry of importance. Give him something to do. Okay? But tune in tomorrow for me and Jason Funny for preview and predictions of Hell in a Cell. Tune in Sunday for the review of Hell in a Cell. Tune in Sunday over on Jason Funny 42 channel for my Webby report. Also for the Blast of the Past right here on the channel for Jason Funny's Blast of the Past. Right here, the first episode will be here. Tune in for that. Should be intriguing. Should be a lot of fun. Tune in for it. Subscribe. You'll get all notifications if you hit that bell button. A lot of fun. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.